Is it true that we need to feel pain in order to feel pleasure? Or that too much pleasure can be painful? Do you think we need to suffer in order to gain access to happiness? Or to appreciate happiness or to be happy? Is suffering really a part of life? Let's talk about this. What Alan was trying to say was this. When you expand your capacity to feel pleasure, you also open yourself up to experiencing deeper levels of pain. It's like a rubber band. The more you stretch yourself upward, so to speak, to experience joy, excitement, and love, the more you increase your capacity to stretch downward, to accommodate sadness, fear, and grief. So by expanding your ability for positive emotions, you naturally increase your sensitivity to negative emotions, because they're part of the same spectrum. Let me put it this way. Usually, we always have two main states: wanted and unwanted, pleasure and pain, the ease and the struggle, the clarity and the chaos. These are two sides of the same coin. It's very much like a cell. Have you seen how a cell grows, divides, and multiplies? It's a process called mitosis, and it's a very intelligent process. Basically, it all starts in the middle. The spindle fibers and all the necessary components, all the necessary constituents of the cell start in the middle, and they migrate in two opposite directions, but they stem from the middle. It's no different with these two states, whether it's pain and pleasure, light and darkness, wanted and unwanted. See, there's a tango, there's a dance between these two. A mechanistic push and pull between the wanted and the unwanted, especially in the physical realm, between the pain and the pleasure. Two seemingly contradictory or opposing states that actually originate from the center. And guess what? The center is where your point of power resides. Your point of power is downright in the middle of these two seemingly opposite expressions of consciousness. The fact that you're able to perceive both at the same time is exactly where your point of power lies, because it's the same consciousness, but expressed from different points of view. It is this dance, this interplay between wanted and unwanted, between pain and pleasure, light and shadow. It is this dance precisely that's necessary for life to continue, let alone exist. Let me give you 3 distinct examples that will illustrate this perfectly for you. Example 1. Doesn't an embryo live in the mother's womb for 9 months without any direct physical contact whatsoever with the outside world? Isn't the embryo in this sense in absolute complete darkness before literally seeing the light for the first time? Here we can clearly see how light and darkness work together. This is also why, symbolically speaking, the manger or the crib in which Jesus was born signifies this beautiful transition of out of darkness into the light. A transitionary process for all humankind and all kinds of other life forms in existence. So there you have it, darkness and light working together. From darkness into the light. Example 2. Say you want to manifest something. Well, isn't this thing that you want to manifest first an idea in your head? An invisible desire hidden somewhere in the corners of your subconscious before it becomes visible in your 3D physical reality? In this specific example, notice how the invisible and the visible work together. You could even say how the unwanted and the wanted are connected to each other. Let's say that the unwanted in this case is a state of poverty that you're in, and the wanted automatically becomes a state of abundance. Again, the invisible and the visible, the wanted and the unwanted, are working together. Example 3, and I've given this example before in a previous video. Take the example of a caterpillar that's trapped in its cocoon for a little while. doesn't it struggle its way out into the world as a butterfly? And it seems to be a very painful process. Again, here we can easily see how the idea of pain gives birth to the idea of pleasure. These two concepts, again, cooperating, working together. You could say one complements the other, gives birth to the other. Even Carl Jung said something similar. He said, "It is said that no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots are deeply seated in hell." Something along those lines. Now, all this is well and good, but you might ask me, does this mean I have to suffer to enjoy life? No, absolutely not. Suffering comes when you're resisting the existing pain. Let me say that again. Suffering comes when you resist the existing pain. Pain, like any other emotion, is a messenger. It just tells you that something's out of alignment with your natural state. And your natural state is one of love, joy, harmony, and freedom. So you only experience suffering when you resist the pain. And let's take it a step further. When you judge both the pain itself and the fact that you're feeling it, the fact that you're experiencing it. So how can we move from pain to pleasure, from the unwanted to the wanted? There is a bulletproof strategy that always works. It will never fail, and it's this. When you allow the darkness, the unwanted, or the pain to exist without resisting it, and without diminishing its value or seeing it as something completely worthless, because creation doesn't make mistakes. If it exists, it means it's important. So when you allow the unwanted, the pain, to be, and you stand in that middle place, which is your point of power, your place of power, and you see the pain as an expression of the one consciousness, the I am, then you can move to a different, more expansive state of your choice. Want to know why? For this simple reason. Because you're not invalidating its existence. You're not invalidating the existence of that pain, or the darkness, or the unwanted. Like a hungry child, you're feeding it, you're valuing its purpose, you're appreciating the dance of duality. It's dancing with you, through you, and for you. And then believe me, you can easily move into another state of your choice. So here's the takeaway, plain and simple. An arrow can only be shot by pulling it backward. What does that mean? Well, when your capacity to feel pain is deep, rejoice, because that means your ability to feel pleasure is just as deep. When your sensitivity to life's challenges increases, know without a shadow of a doubt that your potential to be launched into something great increases just the same. Two seemingly opposite ideas stemming from the same middle ground, the same one consciousness, the same I am.